Oh, hey guys, Joe Saint here coming at you. It's 5:49 p.m. on a Sunday. It's May the 10th, Mother's Day. Kind of dragging today. Had a very long weekend so far. And instead of jogging this morning like I had planned, I kind of overslept. See, right now I'm working my bulletproof coffee here with the coffee with MCT oil in it. Taking my green source vitamins. So if you've seen these before, sometimes switch off between Alive and Green Source. These multivitamins with no iron and whole food extracts. And my L-tyrosine, which is supposed to be like a focus factor type product that helps you focus your mental energies. I took my last three vitamin D capsules, which is 600 milligrams, 600 units of vitamin D. I don't think I'll be taking that anymore. I don't seem to notice the difference when I'm taking vitamin D versus when I'm not taking vitamin D. So yeah, I was just taking the last of everything. Let's see, even took my magnesium, took 500 milligrams of magnesium. And yeah, that's about it. I'm waiting for the caffeine and the coffee to kick in, waiting for the MCT oil to kind of be digested a bit, get into my system. Like I said, this weekend has been a long one. Started out with Friday was my 20th anniversary party, the business 20th anniversary at my business. They've been around for 20 years apparently, and threw a big party. My girlfriend showed up for the party, and we had steaks, and they had catfish, and they had crawfish, and they had a full bar, hard liquor, pretty much. They went around and asked the people who were coming what they wanted to drink. So a lot of guys ordered Crown Royal or Wild Turkey or some type of liqueur. They had two kegs and a few cases of beer, depending on what you wanted to drink in the beer arena. And they had six bottles of wine. Fortunately, there was one bottle of red out of the six. So my girlfriend, she likes red wine, doesn't like white wines too much. She says it's a little bit too sweet. So she pretty much had the red wine all to herself. No one else seemed to like it. So that was good. Worked out well for both of us. Had well, actually, my director was the DJ. He was playing all the music, encouraging all the people to come out and dance and make requests for music and participate in different not adult games, but just friendly adult competitions like hula hoops and tossing washers at a hole, different things. There was about 20, 22 prizes they gave out. They gave it, so they had two of everything: two laptops, two iPads, two really big rolling work benches, two medium-sized rolling work benches, two kiddie playgrounds. There was some smaller prizes like. So yeah, after working all day Friday, uh, unable to jog of course because of the party started at 5, and we got home around 8. Next morning, got up, and the project for Saturday was to go to my girlfriend's house, and she was having all her windows replaced with double paned windows. So in preparation for doing that, we had to make sure all of the furniture and tables, everything was at least 3 feet away from all the windows. Oh, sorry. Coffee's making me burp a little bit. Yeah, all the furniture stuff had to be 3 feet away from the windows so that the workers who were coming in, the contractors, were have enough room to get in there. Somewhere around during all that time, she decided that one of her future projects of pulling up the last room of existing carpeting was going to happen that morning. So we spent 2-3 hours before the contractors arrived. Once we had moved all the furniture out of the way and cleaned everything out of the way for the contractors, we started pulling up the carpet in one of her back bedrooms. Got about halfway done with that, and pulling up the tack strips that you have to glue down to the concrete or to tack the carpet to the floor. got about halfway done with that, and the contractor showed up, so we had to stop. And pretty much we just stayed out of their way as much as possible. So yeah, it was a pretty busy day all day long. Saturday, I left her house around 4:30 after the contractors had gone. We were putting everything back in place, putting the window coverings back up, and I took off out of there at 4:30, headed to pick up my friend because we are going to go eat at Golden Corral. Man, I got home around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I was completely exhausted. Went to bed around 9, woke up at 6, went back to sleep till 7. 7, went back to sleep till about 8:30. I'd forgotten my overall plan was to get up this morning at 6 or 7, get my half-hour jog in, run down to the local nursery and get my mom's Mother's Day gift, and then head to her house and take her to lunch. So oversleeping till 8:30. When I finally did realize what I was doing, it was 8:30, and my eyes flew open, and oh my God, oh man, I got to get going. I realized by the time I got up and got the coffee made that there was no way I was going to be able to jog this morning and take a shower and go to the nursery and get all her plants and get to her house on time to take her to lunch. So skipped the jogging thing, plan on doing it this evening. But I did get down there. Nursery course was not open today. They didn't open until noon. So I had to fall back on plan B, went to another location, another place, and managed to get her a couple other plants that I knew she wanted. I originally planned on getting her a nice gift certificate and a purple leaf plant called a Lorum petalum, but she'd wanted a third one for her yard. So I couldn't get that, but I did remember that she had always wanted she'd wanted a new fig tree. Managed to find a fig tree and this really pretty plant called it's a tree called a Japanese red maple. Fortunately, when I got there to her house and showed her everything, she was very excited and happy. We went down to a local restaurant called Mi Pueblo, a little Mexican restaurant, and had lunch there. And that's about it. Hung around her house till about 2. Started feeling really, really sleepy. Begged off and headed to the house. And once I got here, took a nap for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And now it's 6 o'clock. And I'm trying to pump all this coffee into my system and get the vitamins to kicking in and getting enough motivation to get out there on the road and do this 28-minute jog. That's why you got to be flexible. Always have a backup plan. You never know what things are going to be thrown at you, how things are going to fall apart or come together. So, yeah, right now let me look at my thermometer here. 80 degrees, humidity at 78%. It's getting a little bit dark. It's cloudy and overcast because the rains are coming in tomorrow. 60% chance for the next 3 days. So I may or may not be obviously the caffeine is not working yet. I may or may not be able to jog on Tuesday night. I'm going back to Monday night, not Monday night. Last Monday got pushed to Tuesday because date night got swapped. So I'm going back to date night on Tuesday night this week. So that means I got to jog Monday night. So yeah. And tomorrow, Monday night tomorrow, what I mean to say is tomorrow is Monday night. Tomorrow is Monday. So that will be week 9. That will be the last week of the C25K program. I will be jogging a full 30 minutes. From my experience from seeing how far I can jog last weekend, I am probably only jogging in the 28 minutes or 25 in the 25 minutes I was jogging last weekend. I'm probably only jogging right at 2 miles. I think it was 26 minutes and 15 seconds to make the complete 2 miles, because I pushed a little further to see how long it would take me to get to my 2 mile mark. So at 28 minutes, if I'm lucky, I think I'm probably going to be jogging like 2.25 miles. We'll see. And I may push it to see if I can get to 2.5 miles. But the C25K program says that at this point, I should be jogging 28 minutes or 2.75 miles. And at the 30-minute mark, starting next week, I should be jogging 3 miles or for 30 minutes or 3 miles. There's an or in there. So as I said before, my goal is simply to complete the jogging time. Uh, that is my only goal. It would be nice if I had the speed and distance as well to match the jogging time, but that is not necessary. It's not critical. I I had not ever seriously jogged at all previous to starting the C25K program. I had experimented with jogging a bit here and there way back in November, October of last year, and I may have run an eighth of a mile once or twice a week in October or maybe November, but that is the only time I'd ever jogged since I was a kid. So I feel I'm pretty pumped up about being able to jog 28 minutes now as it is. So I'm pretty happy. Don't care what my speed is. Don't care what my distance is. Well, kind of don't care what my distance is. I'd be very disappointed if it was only 1 mile for jogging 28 minutes because I can walk a mile in like 16 to 17 minutes. So yeah, doing pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna continue jogging once this program is over. It is nice, because of the health benefits. It's nice because I feel like I'm sleeping better. My energy levels seem to be better for at least a few hours after I jog. I feel a really nice burst of energy, feel good, and I feel a wave of crashing. So, and I don't think my girlfriend is going to let me quit jogging, even though we haven't jogged together. Have had time to jog together, except one time during this C25K adventure. Yeah, once her home projects get done, I'm sure she's going to start to want to jog on the weekends together because she does want to jog with me. Although I surpassed her by quite a margin. The last time she jogged was back in March, and she actually was part of a 5K marathon. She said that she managed to jog the first mile and then walked 2 miles to finish. So I know I can jog at least twice as far as she can, but she is so competitive that I think she's going to do her best to catch up to me once she's able to get back to her jogging routine. So we'll see how that turns out. Or who knows? We may go to something else, some other form of exercise. Oh, my throat's getting scratchy, so let me finish off this coffee and get out there and jog. See how well I do. I don't expect to. Well, let me say it the proper way. I expect to be able to make 28 minutes tonight. There's no reason why I can't. I'm not going to get cocky like last time and go, oh, I had 28 minutes. No, I'm going to try to be humble this time and say I'm going to make it. No matter what it takes, I'm going to make it. It's just may not be easy, may not be fun, may be bored out of my mind, but I'm going to make it. Right now, I'm envisioning myself, looking at myself coming toward me on the road, and no matter how silly this sounds, it does help a bit. Seeing me run toward myself, and I have a yellow strip of caution tape between me and myself running at me, and it says 28 minutes on it, or 2.75 miles. I try to write that. It took a while for me to conjure up that image and keep it crystal clear, but it took me quite a bit of practice to get that. At first, when I was trying to envision I could only see it for a few seconds at a time. Well, not even a few seconds. I would get a flash of the image I wanted to see, and it would fade, and I'd have to fight with my mind to bring it back. But now I can snap it into focus pretty clearly. Hopefully, this positive visualization works for me. They say Michael Jordan did it all the time. He envisioned himself shooting the baskets, making them again and again and again. There's quite a bit of research that says positive mental reinforcement does work. It does take a lot of effort for me to get the mental image I want and be able to hold on to it and be able to see it clearly. But I'm working at it. hopefully you'll work at it too. It may sound silly. Don't tell anybody if you feel silly about it. Keep it to yourself. I'm just putting it out there because I want to help anybody that wants to get better in life. Whatever your goals are, just want to help you a little bit. Help you reach your goals. Encourage you to reach for your goals. But let me go. I've talked too long. It's been like 19 minutes now, which is way longer than I usually do an intro. I think I was putting off going out there because still ain't feeling the coffee yet, but ooh, can you hear that Frankensleeve is growling on the inside? He's not upset with the coffee, but he's giving me the signal it's time to get out there and run. So I'll be back in a few seconds. Hang on. I'll be back to report what happened. I did it 30 minutes. I wasn't expecting to do 30 minutes. And once again, I forgot what day I was on or what the running time was. And it was 28 minutes, what I thought was the running time. But when I put the app on, it showed week 8, day 3 being 30 minutes continuous jogging. I think I made about 2 1/10 miles total. Let me get inside and rest up for a second, catch my breath, because it was a very, very mentally tough jog. No more difficulty physical-wise than I allowed it to be, but the mental aspect today, I was thrown off multiple ways this time. So let me rest for a second, catch my breath, and get some Crystal Light in me, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. And I'm officially done. That was the last workout. I must have pulled my workout spreadsheet that I post up there from a different C25K website, because according to my Excel spreadsheet, I still have week 9 to finish up with 3 30-minute jogs, but according to the C25K app, I did the last jog today, which was one 30-minute continuous jog, and the next thing on the app, the next workout says run a 5K, and the next one after that says run a 10K. So there's some disparity between the spreadsheet I copied off the web versus what my app says I'm supposed to be doing. But see if I can get this in place without tipping the whole thing over. So it was not a good workout. I was mentally prepared for 28 minutes, and then when I started the app, I saw that it said 30 minutes, so that threw me off a bit. So I had to quickly redo my positive mental image of the yellow tape from 28 minutes to 30 minutes. So yeah, I wasn't feeling the caffeine yet. I wasn't feeling the vitamin pill yet. Never did really notice any of that stuff kicking in. So I'm not sure what happened to it. But it's been an exceptionally long week. My starting weight this morning was 209.4, so my weight has shot up this week, I think, from a low of 206.6. I have not been eating the best this week, so on Friday, of course, I had 1 piece of fish, and I had probably 6 ounces of steak, and had a few green beans, and a lot of margarita, and a lot of wine. Saturday, ate more steak. I finished off the leftovers that one of the cooks sent home with me. And see, today, Sunday, since I've been either on date night or working late, I haven't had time to cook since last Sunday. So I was out of everything. I let myself run out of protein bars, so I couldn't even fall back on those. I got 3 protein bars left, 1 of each flavor, that I'm holding back to do a taste test review of them. My original thing was to have several bars, but I keep putting off doing the taste test, and I keep running out. I actually ordered 4 more boxes of the Oh Yeah cookies and cream, no, chocolate chip cookie dough, because that was my favorite flavor, and I ordered 2 of the boxes are going to be peanut butter flavored. So I haven't tried that flavor yet, so found a deal where I got 2 boxes for the price of 1. And they wouldn't let me buy 3 boxes of cookie dough. I can only buy 2 of the same flavor each time. So that's why I have 2 of a flavor I don't know that I'm going to like. But if I eat the very berry, and that was so far has been the worst tasting of the bunch, then I'm sure I can eat the peanut butter if I don't like it too much. So yeah, let's see. I started out when I started the jog this evening. I was at 210.4, so I was actually a pound heavier than when I woke up this morning. And I wanted to see how much I was going to sweat off. So right before I jogged, I weighed 210.4. I weighed just a few seconds ago, literally a minute after the finish of the jog. So I was at 208.8. So I jogged off about a pound, 1.6 pounds of water. And I'm going to do my best to put them back on before the end of this evening. Honestly, I thought about quitting. I got had my brain is so foggy right now. I'm kind of lightheaded. I pushed myself a bit too far. But I got stopped by dogs twice. This time by different dogs. Now I got three neighbors I have to worry about. They had my neighbor diagonal from me up on the highway has a Doberman Pinscher who normally just barks, but this time he seemed like he's a bit more intent on getting me because he came charging across the property at full gallop and came through the ditch like a tornado. I mean, literally, he was full bore like a mad bull coming after me, and that's all for just jogging on the highway in front of his house. And I whirled around, and I was already feeling mentally bad, but when I whirled around, I was completely prepared to let that dog chomp on my arm, and I was going to do my best to kill that goddamn dog. I was going to beat him to a pulp for interrupting my jog, making my mental outlook worse because he chose a bad time. I whirled around, and he pulled up short, started barking, and I guess there was so much road noise I couldn't tell if the owner called him back in, but they called him back in, and the dog trotted back into the yard, and I took off again. So I lost 15 or so seconds, and my mood was black. Although it did help me complete the second lap, and so I finished my first mile on an adrenaline high because I was so pissed off at that dog. I wasn't scared because I was ready to kill him. I was wanting to kill him. So like like Jerry Clara once said in one of his stories about a guy who climbed a tree trying to hunt a coon. He said that the guy climbed a tree to poke him with a stick and forced the coon to jump out of the tree and into a pack of dogs. But when the guy got up into the tree, it wasn't a coon. It was a puma. And Jerry Clara said they called a puma souped up wildcats. And this thing attacked him when he poked it. And all the people on the ground could hear was this guy going, "Whoa! Whoa! He said, "Whoa, shoot this thing. Somebody shoot this thing." The guys on the ground hauled it back up in the tree. He goes, "No, John, we can't shoot up in the tree. We might hit you." He goes, "Just shoot up in the tree. One of us has to have some relief." And I felt that way. I felt like I needed some relief. But if it meant I got chewed up, the relief I would have felt at beating the crap out of this dog, or at least attempting to beat the crap out of the dog, would have been so relieving. So I finished the first mile that way, started my third lap around the block. And of course, when I got to another neighbor's property, I heard, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," and a herd of chihuahuas, or call them a flock of chihuahuas, I knew they were usually noisy and bark and holler, but usually they stay in their yard. This time, of course, my dumbass neighbor has a fence around 2/3 of his property, and of course his front gate's open, and his driveway, where the double gates are for his truck to come through, are open, and he has no fence at all down one side of his property. So these three chihuahuas came flying out of their yard, across the street, way out of their property line, and were just hell-bent on getting me. And I whirled around because I was fresh off the frustration of that Doberman Pinscher coming after me. And I was fixing to punch one of those chihuahuas if we got close enough, but then I realized it was chihuahuas and little 5-pound dogs. And I caught my temper and bent over and tried to get them to come to me so I could pet them and make them my friends, because I like all dogs. Just just not when I'm jogging, okay? And don't interrupt it, because to me my jog is messed up. My timing is messed up. I no longer have officially jog continuously once I stop. So I had to stop another 10 to 15 seconds to calm these chihuahuas down. And the owner called them, and they ran back to him in the yard, and I waved to him. He waved back, but officially my jog is completely messed up. I can't say I ran nonstop for 30 minutes can't say that I ran nonstop for about 2.1 miles. I finished the jog up, and the whole time I was down to like the last 1/3 of a mile, feeling so bad, mentally and physically. And I was waiting for. I had to pass by the Chihuahua house again, and they came barking. This time they didn't leave their yard, but I was still mentally thrown off. And I told myself if I can just jog this last third of a mile, make my 2 miles for 30 minutes, then that's good enough. I had to fail sometime. It might as well be the last one where I fail. And I got a little bit further down the road. Chihuahuas didn't attack. And I was thinking, 2 miles, make 2 miles. And can't say positive mental imagery helped me. Can't say having a positive mental outlook. The only thing that kept me going was knowing that I did not want to disappoint you guys that are watching me, that are pulling for me. And I thought to myself, it just came to me, what if? What if I just kept going? What if I pushed through the mental negativity and the weakness in my leg? What if I just kept going? What if I just pushed? And I said this to myself about 4 times, and I was about, I don't know, maybe 1/10 of a mile to the end. It was probably like 300 yards. It was pretty close. So got down there. I was still wanting to quit, but I had to walk back to my house anyway. So I just kept jogging, just kept going. I said, what if I just pushed through? Do you want to have to say that you quit on your last jog, your last workout? Not my last jog, but my last workout for the C25K program. I said, no, as much as I want to. So I figured, well, pulled my phone off my hip because I was on song number 7, and all the stops threw me off. I had no idea if I was on song 7, which is normally 28 minutes. Didn't know how close I was to finishing, but I had to know no matter what. I had 3 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Figured, well, I can do it. I can just keep pushing. 3 minutes, 49 seconds left, and I will skip the cool down walk. Screw that. I ain't doing the cool down walk. My cool down walk is going to be from however far I am on the road to my front door. So, yeah, I kept going. I ran back down to my house, got within, my house is really diagonally across the street from the guy with the Chihuahuas. And I ran to my driveway. The Chihuahuas came barking again, so I was a few hundred feet from them, so I turned around and jogged the other way for another 30 seconds or so, and my workout was done. Finally, I heard the 1-minute chime and counted to 15, turned around, headed back to my house, counted 15. It was over. So I did the whole thing. I feel really lucky that I did the entire C25K workout and never not completed a workout. I feel really lucky. I feel really positively motivated. I know that I could not have completed the program without having people I was accountable to, you guys. And my best friend doesn't even know that I'm doing this program. I really didn't want to tell him because we used to walk together, and I feel like I was leaving him out, but this was something I had to do on my own. He probably wouldn't have a problem with it. He probably would encourage me to do power walking instead because he has trouble jogging. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to include him on the jogging thing. I knew I had to make this as easy as possible to complete on myself. That meant I could not jog with him. I could not coordinate getting off work, driving through rush hour traffic at 5 o'clock, and getting all the way out there to the park and meeting him in the evenings and trying to reschedule on days where I had to work late and days when traffic were really bad, and it was more mental effort than I knew I could complete on top of everything else, working till 5 o'clock and then having date night and then having to go out date night again on Fridays and having to go on do activities. Not that I'm saying I don't enjoy doing those things with my girlfriend. I left that part out. I said date night. I just assumed y'all knew what I was talking about. But seeing my girlfriend on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and then going to my parents' house every other Sunday, working till 5 o'clock or later in the evenings, and then having to jog afterwards, trying to find time to do three jogs a week, trying to find time to cook my food, trying to find time to film and edit these videos. And yeah, it's just, I really did not like not telling him. I probably will never tell him unless he accidentally sees these videos, but he really doesn't have any interest in watching my YouTube channel. So we just have different interests. And I don't blame him, because I don't really care to see his photographs. He photographs stuff, literally hundreds of photographs. He likes to go out in nature, go to local nature preserves, and spend hours and hours and hours walking the trails trying to get the elusive animals like raccoons, bobcats. If he can find out an animal that people are having difficulty getting photographs of, he wants to go out there and get those hard shots. He wants to have the patience and the persistence, I guess, to go out there and get those photographs that no one else can get. So that's his pride and joy. So he does that. I do this, do YouTube stuff. I try to encourage him to put his photographs up on sites that will pay you if they sell your photographs. You know, not much. I mean, he gives his photographs away. He's been doing this for so many years now. You could call him a professional photographer. He's got so many tens. Well, I guess tens of thousands of photographs. I'm sure he's made more than 10,000 photographs in the past few years, because he takes several hundred photographs per week. And 3 years ago, we went to Alaska, and he took 1,500 photographs or more in 7 days, and he only kept about 300 of the photographs. So he takes lots and lots of photographs and then cherry picks the best ones he likes that come out the best. He's got close to a $10,000 camera rig. I think it's a D90, Canon D90. It's the latest one that came out about 2 years ago. It was like, the body cost $4,000. Then he had a $2,500 lens, and he bought a $6,000 lens. It's like, yeah, it's one of his fun things to do. It's what he loves to do. And he's got the money, so he's not frivolously spending his money. He's very, very frugal, and once every couple of years he buys himself a really nice big present. So yeah, I was eating bad today. I really had no food in the house. I refused to eat my last 3 protein bars from my Oh Yeah protein bars. I got one vanilla almond, one chocolate chip cookie dough, and one berry. As I said before, chocolate chip cookie dough was my favorite out of the bunch. There's one of them called cookies and cream that was very good, but I still like chocolate chip cookie dough better. If you like cookies and cream and you like the Quest cookies and creams, Quest bar cookies and cream, you probably like the Oh Yeah cookies and cream. I think it had a little bit of a bitter aftertaste to it, but I kind of look forward to the bitterness of that cookies and cream when you bite into it. You get really sweet vanilla flavor and a little bit of a not Oreo cookie. Is it Oreos? Yeah, Oreos bitter chocolate chip flavor, chocolate cookie taste to it. And there was a protein powder bitterness after it. So it all kind of worked together for a really good flavor. If you want no bitterness at all, I would say go with the chocolate chip cookie dough. I didn't detect any bitter aftertaste at all with the chocolate chip cookie dough. And I promise I will get around to doing the taste test probably when my next 4 boxes of Oh Yeah bars come in, because they got the new UPS notification that they should be here tomorrow. So I will have 4 flavors to taste test. So I'll have to get around to doing that. As I said, I was eating bad today. I woke up this morning, had no food, no good food to eat in the house. So my go-to thing is peanuts. I had to hit the road in a hurry. You hear me crinkling because I'm picking up my bags of peanuts, the empty bags. I kept them because I wanted to show you the different flavors. I chugged down some bulletproof coffee this morning. I call it halfway bulletproof, because regular bulletproof coffee is black coffee with a tablespoon of grass-fed butter and a tablespoon of MCT, medium chain triglyceride oil, which is coconut oil. And this one only had the MCT oil in it. And I put lots of powdered creamer or liquid creamer in mine, and I put Splenda in mine. So it's not truly bulletproof coffee, but I like it. The MCT oil does help me out a bit as far as mental energy. So I was drinking that before this morning and drank some more before the jog. And on the way, I was running on short on time, so stopped at the local convenience store. My fallback thing for food at a convenience store. I really don't know how healthy these peanuts are, but those are my go-to thing, rather than eating a honey bun or uh, if they don't have any kind of protein bars that I can stomach, I get some type of peanuts. They range. These are. I hadn't bought peanuts in a long, long time. I mean, 6 months to a year. So I saw these for the first time. I'd never seen this many different kinds of flavors. I think these are regular salted. Everything's backward on my camera right now, so I can't really read this in reverse too well. See, this is mesquite barbecue. I think these are plain salted. These are jalapeno cheddar cheese. Is it cheddar cheese, or is it another kind of cheese? Limited edition. It is a cheddar. The jalapeno cheddar. I was expecting these to be extremely hot. They were not. It had a jalapeno flavor taste, but not really any hotness. And I went ahead and bought these honey roasted peanuts, just in case I didn't like these, and just in case I didn't like these, because I never know what the flavor is going to actually be like. They range in calorie counts. I think the honey was the most at 230 calories, and the least was like 190 calories, 170 calories, something like that. Nope, I'm completely wrong. The lowest calorie count was the jalapeno at 220, and the highest calorie counts were at the barbecue and the honey, which were oh no, I'm wrong. Wrong again. Sorry guys, I'm so tired. Not sleepy, just tired. But the mesquite barbecue was at 250, the other two are 230, so they're all, 20, 30 calories in difference. Actually, I did like these the best. I used to like plain the best. I'm not a big, I like the honey flavor. I mean, they're not my favorite flavor, but they're good. Just, I would prefer plain peanuts, or I would prefer these now. They say limited edition, so of course, since I like them, they're going to quit making them. They say limited edition, like I'm going to collect them. Limited to the number of they can sell. That's what it's limited to. So if this flavor catches on, they'll probably keep making them. Mesquite barbecue was pretty good. I like them. The honey and mesquite I don't care to eat, because they have the most sugar in them. I don't know how much sugar. You guys don't care. I don't care, because I'm not planning on eating them again anytime soon, even though they were good. I didn't eat all 4 at one time, just in case you're wondering. I don't know which. I think I ate this one first just to try it out, because I wanted to see if I was going to like this or not. I was surprised how good I liked it, how good they tasted, how much I liked it. So I ate that one, drove to my parents' house. Drove up there to Silsbee, Texas, and went to the nursery, and they were closed. And so I went down to Super Walmart as my fallback plan, because I knew they have a huge nursery out front and a small nursery inside. So I figured that's where my mom goes for most of her plants. Bound to find something there for Mother's Day that she would like, and did. I found a really nice fig plant in a 5-gallon bucket that was about $25. And I saw these really pretty small trees called a Japanese, or I forgot what it's the Japanese maple, I believe. But the leaves the plant will get to be 25 feet tall. The one I bought was about 2.5, 3 feet tall, and the leaves are already turning red on it. It's a really fragile looking tree. It's probably about as big around as a pencil and 3 feet tall. So they had it. All the plants were tied to stick supports up the side to keep it from falling over and breaking off. So, but it's going to be a real pretty little tree, growing about 20 feet tall, really big and bushy. So it's going to provide a lot of shade, and it's going to have these bright, fiery red leaves. Honestly, it looks like, to me, the leaves remind me of really skinny marijuana plant leaves, because that's the way they just look like that to me. So that was about an hour later. I had a second package. Don't know which package, but I had a second package, and I left the other 2 on the seat of my car. And so got there. About an hour later, we went to the Mexican restaurant called Mi Pueblo that my mom wanted to go eat. She wanted Mexican food, so we went there. We all had the same thing. It was a little plate of beans and rice with one enchilada, but it's like a little 5-inch cheese enchilada, about that long, about 5 inches long. I have no idea what the calorie counts are. It came with a second. The second thing on the plate was a little 5-inch tamale and a big scoop of refried beans, and a big scoop of rice. And of course, they served us chips and salsa. And I tried not to. I was so hungry because I'd only had those 2 packages of peanuts. So we're talking about 3 ounces of peanuts in 3 or 4 hours, and I was really hungry. And I guess wasn't head hunger, but I was really wanting to eat for some reason. I guess because of all the activity from yesterday. I still hadn't recovered from all the work of tearing up the carpet and putting all the window shades and blinds and shutters back in place. And I was really surprised that I scarfed down the whole plate. Plus, I ate probably 10 chips before I cut myself off. 10 of the chips and salsa that they provided that comes with every Mexican food, with every Mexican meal in Texas. I don't know how it is in other states, but in Texas, if you go to a Mexican restaurant, you sit down and order a meal, they bring you a huge basket of of uh, corn chips, deep fried corn chips, and a bowl of salsa. So we had, they were so good. They were so salty. They had such a good corn flavor to them, crispy. But I stopped myself at somewhere between 6 and 10. I stopped. That I can't. It's gonna make my head hunger kick into high gear if I do that. And so I was really surprised that uh, I was not full, physically full, after eating that little enchilada, the cheese enchilada and the beef tamale, and I ate all the rice and beans. Normally, that kind of stuff I would be topped off close to the end, and I wasn't. I could have kept on eating a little bit more before I was physically full. So it wasn't head hunger, but it was a kind of a compulsion to eat. Maybe it was the flavors. It tasted pretty good, but it wasn't outstanding flavor, but it's like it was a different flavor, something I'm not used to eating. So I guess I wanted more of it. But anyway, went back to my parents' house. We hung around and drank coffee, and I ate two little teeny snack size candy bars, two Baby Ruths. They're like two biters. I call them the two biters. They're not snack size. They're I call them minis because they really are 2 bites. The fun size bars are 3 or 4 biters for me. I make them last 3 or 4 bites because they're twice the size. But my dad has these jars of Butterfingers, Red Baby Ruths, Milky Ways, all these. He likes to snack on junk food all day long. So we got back, drank coffee, played with the dogs, fed the dogs. Mom was discussing where she was going to put her fig tree. She was so happy to get a fig tree because she'd wanted one. I'd forgotten that until I got to Walmart, I'd forgotten that she had mentioned that months ago, that she was interested in getting another fig tree because she had leave her really big monster, literally 30 feet around, 7 feet, 8 feet tall fig tree that she'd had in her yard in her last property, her last house that they sold last year. Had to give it up. So she got a new fig tree. I got lucky, just a coincidence. I turned out to be the kind of fig tree she wanted. I guess there's multiple kinds of fig trees, but these were the kind that they called a turkey brown. It actually turns out to be one of the most prolific fig trees. That grows the most. They make little figs that are about the size of between 50-cent piece and $1. They're especially sweet kind of fig. She had wanted one that, for some reason, she wanted one that the figs turned purple. These just happened to turn purple. I went and looked it up on the internet real quick for her, and sure enough, these are the only kind Walmart carried, and just happened to be the most productive type of fig tree, and also one of the sweetest. They call it decadent flavors of figs, and happen to turn the right color too. So in a year or so, she's going to have a really nice fig tree, and she'll make fig preserves and eat raw figs, and my dad will have raw figs. And so now they've got a new thing to grow in a nice big red Japanese maple that she'll have another shade tree. And see, an hour or so later after eating lunch, I had those candy bars and then had a piece of some type of lemon pie, headed home, and still was kind of hungry, so I ate one of these on the way home, and then I got home and ate the other one. So yeah, it's been a pretty high calorie day. I don't like to eat peanuts because they are so high in calories for the volume of food I get to eat. They're not unhealthy too much. It's the salt mainly that causes high blood pressure, they say. But they are calorie dense for their size, mostly fat, but they're supposed to be heart healthy fat. I don't know for certain. Like I said, it was my go-to food because I was out of everything else. So yeah, that is the last workout in the C25K program. I'm probably going to continue to jog next week. I'll continue to film it just to show you that I'm continuing on with the 30-minute program until I decide what else I want to do. I'm not mentally prepared to start a C25K program. I may try to increase my pace starting next week to try to get more than the 2.1 to 2.5 miles that I'm running now. It would be nice to get up to 3 miles. I may actually have to jog further than 30 minutes to get to the 3 mile mark, but we'll find out. I really think I've covered everything. I do want to thank everybody who's been watching me so far in my progress. I hope I've inspired a few guys to give it a shot, even if you don't succeed at it, even if you don't make the complete run every time, and you have to repeat a workout several times to build up your endurance. Just stick with it. Keep working at it. Just keep going and keep pushing. If this is not the right goal for you to reach, then try for something else. If it's walking 3 miles, shoot for that. If it's going for a better job, if it's trying to meet the right person in your life, if it's trying to do a career change, if it's whatever it is, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration from just the fact that I've kept pushing, and I was prepared to fail, and I was prepared to repeat the workouts. I was prepared to do not anything, but almost anything I possibly could to complete this program. I really expected to hit walls. I was prepared mentally to fail. If I failed, I failed. It's just the way it is. I was going to keep at it just to help inspire you guys, to let you know that failure is not permanent. It is only a temporary situation unless you make it a permanent situation. Let me pause this for just a moment because I'd like to pull up some more of these Steve Jobs words of wisdom, and everything is running so jammed together today that I have not planned ahead for this. Even though I knew I was going to be doing it, I just didn't plan. Hang on for a second. Let me pause this. Okay, guys, I'm back. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit loopy. I'm running really long on this. I mean, this is like 30 minutes now, and I'm rambling. Yeah, I hope you don't mind me rambling. I kind of feel like this is the end of a chapter in my life. I wouldn't. That's an exaggeration, really. This is an end of a adventure in my life. I mean, it has been 8 weeks. It seems like this. I get into a routine really, really easy. So really, it does feel like I have been doing this for years now. It's like I've always been going on date night on Tuesdays. I've always felt like I have been jogging 3 times a week. I feel like I've been living this way for a lot longer than 8 weeks. It's just part of my routine now. It's part of my life. It's a good thing and a bad thing because I get into a routine. I don't like to change it. So it's very difficult to swap out when I want to do something different, when I want to break my habits. Making some more bulletproof coffee. That's cold. I should have drank Crystal Light. Let me switch off. Crystal Light. That's better. I need liquid. I need water in me more than I need coffee. So I have got my list of things. I've gone over 2, 3, and 4 over the past 2 workouts, and I'm on 6 and 7 now. I'm trying to pick out the ones that I feel like apply to my life. I don't want to pick out ones that I don't personally feel are things I've experienced. I don't like to give advice that I have not lived through or felt that I've experienced. So it just so happens he's working out. I guess it must be very common for everyone to go through these things, so that's why they seem to apply to me too. And they just happen to be in the correct order or in sequence from where I started. Number one on the list, let me scroll back up right quick and tell you number one because I didn't think it applied to me. Steve Jobs said, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Innovation has no limits. The only limit is your imagination. It goes on and on. It doesn't apply to me. At least I don't feel it does. So I skipped number one and started with number two when I was recording these. So now I'm on number 6 and number 7. And you'll see me looking up. And it's not gonna make the video look as professional as I would like it to look, but I'm doing my best. Hopefully you don't mind. Number 6, Steve Jobs said, we basically watch television to turn off. Oh man. I'm gonna leave this in here just because I want to let you see me messing up, and hopefully you will see me getting better with my videos over time so that you see that it's not all spit polish and perfection, to show you that you don't become an overnight success at anything. This is like video number 107, 108 for me. I've made over the past 2 years. It's taken me 2 years to make these videos. I've only seriously been making videos on a regular basis this past 14, 15 months. So I'm shooting for a total of 300 videos by the end of the year. It's an unrealistic goal, I believe, but I'm going to do my best. And as Jim Carrey said, your job is not to figure out how it's going to come to pass. It is simply to set your goals and let the universe figure out how to deliver it. But you have to put forth the effort too. So I'm not going to worry about how I'm going to make 300 videos before the end of the year. I'm going to shoot for 300 videos before the end of the year. And how did you come up with 300 videos? Well, my goal was set by a guy named Eli, the computer guy. He's a technology guy I started following a couple of years ago, and he had made 300 videos for a pay-per-view type website that didn't work out. And he got lucky and put him on YouTube. YouTube invited him to make the video or post his videos on their site. And it turned into a career for him that he wasn't expecting to have. So if it took him 300 videos to make his first $500 off YouTube, then that is the minimum number of videos I realistically expect to put up before I see a subscriber base, a view count. I think my view count right now for the past 2 years total is in the 23,600 range for views. I've gained subscribers and lost subscribers. I think I'm up to 152 subscribers now. That's great. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. I hope my content is entertaining, educational, and makes you interested in what's going on. Maybe it's helping. Hopefully, mainly, I'm hoping it helps your life a bit, helps you get where you want to be in life. So let me get back to this thing. Steve Jobs said, basically, still can't get it right. Steve Jobs said, we think basically you watch television to turn your brain off, and you work on your computer when you want to turn your brain on. That means work on your computer, not surf the web. And here's what it continues on to say under that statement. Reams of academic studies over the decades have amply confirmed television's perniciousness, mental and moral influences. Perniciousness, man, that's a big word. I don't even know what it means. It must not be good. It must be some word means like influential. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so goofy right now. Let me continue on. And most TV watchers know that their habit is mind-numbing and wasteful, but still spend most of their time in front of that box. So turn your TV off and save some brain cells. But be cautious. You can turn your brain off by using a computer also. That's completely true. I can find myself going off on tangents when I should be learning to code or watching videos on how to get more subscribers, how to get how to be more professional, what mics to use, what video cameras to use. I'm always looking to improve this and be a better speaker, have a better camera quality. It will get better over time as I save up money and can afford a better camera. So try and have an intellect conversation with someone who plays first-person shooter for 8 hours a day. Man, this is a complicated paragraph. Basically, they're saying, turn off the TV, use the computer in a in a in a positive manner for your mental benefit, mental outlook, mental improvement, career improvement. So, yeah, that was a really complicated sentence. Yeah, I don't know where to go with this, but I do agree with that statement. We watch TV to turn your brain off because I do that. I also listen to uh, audiobooks to turn my brain off. I, I surf the web a whole lot to turn my brain off. I also use the web to research and get better and try not to do too much of the the, the stuff that is not productive. I literally, since I've started dating, since I've started making these videos, since I've started working late at night, I don't turn my TV on anymore. I watch videos on my computer at night to go to sleep, to let my mind zone out when I want to go to sleep. But other than that, most of my time is spent working on these videos, going out on dates, or working late at night. And let me get to number 7, because number 6, even though I liked it, it's very complicated to say and did not clearly have a message to me. It was more complicated than I thought because I did not pre-read these too clearly, I guess. Number 7, Steve Jobs said, "I am the only person I know that's lost $250 million in 1 year. It is very character building." I wish I could say that I had lost $250 million in 1 year, because if I could say I lost $250 million, that probably means I had $1 billion to begin with and lost a quarter of it. So, yeah, I'm going to throw that one out to the universe too. Universe, give me. I want to be worth I want to be worth $1 billion. I won't guess as to how it's going to be delivered, but I will work towards it. So let's see, what does the paragraph below it say? Do not equate making mistakes with being a mistake. And I agree with that completely. It's like saying experiencing a failure is not being a failure. You're only a failure if it becomes a permanent thing and you do not act upon changing it or act upon trying to change the failure to a success. There is no such thing as being a successful person who has not failed or made mistakes. There are successful people who made mistakes and changed their lives or performance in response to the mistakes, and so got it right the next time. They viewed mistakes as warnings rather than a sign of hopeless inadequacy. Never making a mistake means never living life to the fullest. And I heard a motivational speaker one time saying, if you've never made a mistake, then you're not trying hard enough. And they say that most of the time you have to make 10 mistakes in the same field, such as opening a business, trying new ideas. You have to fail 9 times out of 10 before you have that 10th success, that first success. So it can happen on the first attempt out of 10, or it can happen on the 10th attempt out of 10. So try to make those 9 mistakes as quick as possible. Get them the hell out of the way. Yeah, I know it sucks. I've had multiple failures in my life. I had a baseball card business that was a failure. I got in right before the peak of the baseball craze in 1991, 92. So that was an adventure. It was fun for a while, but then I could see the market was dying, and I had to just shut everything down. So that was a failure. Never got very far with that. Had failures as a registered massage therapist. I really wanted to do massage therapy as for a living. I liked helping people. I liked making people feel better, and I thought it would be a really good combination of being able to make people feel good, getting paid for it, and being my own boss. Although I found out real quick I suck at marketing because I lacked a lot of self confidence, and I felt guilty for charging people money or charging people what I considered too much for a massage. I didn't feel I was worth the money, even though it required that kind of charge to be able to get by week to week. I think massages were about $45 an hour, and I had to give $20 or more of that to the salon where I worked for the privilege of working there. So each hour massage, I was making around $20. So 8 massages a day, that's 8 hours. That means working over 10 hours because you got to put time in between massages to allow people to get dressed and undressed and just greeting customers. So $160 a day, and I never ever had eight massages in one day. So I was lucky if I was getting 2 or 3 a day on my best days. So it was and I've never got established at one place or in 2 years. So finally I gave up, went back to a regular job. And the next 2 jobs I had, the companies went bankrupt. I thought they were career jobs with Lucent Technology. That was a telephone wireman for inside the telephone switch offices. That business went bankrupt after a year and a half, 2 years because the work disappeared. Then I went to work for MCI WorldCom as a data center technician, and that went bust. They went out of business because the demand for internet services never appeared after 2 years, and so they were spending tremendous amounts of money, $250,000 a month, to heat, cool, and keep electricity going in these buildings, and they were just too soon for their time. It was in the year 2000, 2001, and at the time there was only dial-up. High-speed internet to the home was not a common thing, and so it was the beginnings of the internet craze. There was the great fear that brick and mortar stores were going away, that everybody was going online to buy everything because the overhead was so much cheaper that online stores could undercut the cheapest brick and mortar store. And one thing they didn't reckon was that the people at home, in people's homes, they were still working on dial-up. So you could not get videos. You could not get the images that you get now. It was taking, a good minute or longer to load a web page, a simple web page with a few images. So just before its time, they went bankrupt, lost another career making type of job. Yeah, went back to school to get my 4-year degree. Got my 4-year degree in 2.5 years. Had basically started over again from the bottom as a nighttime backup tape guy, and went from there. And soon learned that I'm once again in a dying career field as a computer technician. So, am I time for another career change, or at least I got to move into a different part of my career, into programming or networking, some higher level work, help desk, computer repair is going away. Maybe this YouTube thing will work out for me. I'm trying hard to make it work out. So yeah, I'm working. I'm like on mistake number 5 or 6 now. So I've got at least 3 more mistakes to go before I hit my jackpot. So keep pulling for me. Yeah, keep pulling for me. Hopefully this YouTube thing will work out for me. Hopefully I'm entertaining. Hopefully I'm inspiring. Hopefully you guys are getting enough out of this that you feel like my videos are worth sharing. You'll tell your friends and tell your friends' friends. It would be nice to get to 100,000 subscribers. I only got 998,048 to go. Yeah. And it would be nice to have, 4 million views, like some of the people on YouTube, like Graveyard Girl and PewDiePie. Who knows? A couple more years, I might be able to get there. So this is Joe Saint signing out from the C25K program. It's over and done with. Week 8, workout number 3 is done. Yeah, got to figure out what to do next. So as I keep saying, this is Joe Saint signing out from VSG Land. Keep pimping that sleeve. Don't give up. Keep moving forward in your life. Don't let mistakes become a permanent failure. Keep shooting for what you want.